Greetings, televiewers, and welcome to today's edition of the English newscast on DBS television. We are live from the economic capital of the country, and the news of the 7 p.m. English newscast comes up every weekdays from 7 p.m. Cameroon time. My name is Genda Belgian Blanche King for presentation, and today we begin the news straight away. Municipal councillors of Manjo in the Mungo division have ended the evaluation meeting of the 2021 public investment budget, one which saw the adoption and implementation of a socio-economic development program to better the living conditions of the population. And Vanessa Shion.
The public investment budget of the Manjo Council in the Mongos division for the year 2021 stood at over 585 million. In income and expenditures, the sum total was evaluated at 596,601,380 francs. This statement is coming from the meeting of municipal councillors who evaluated and revisited altogether projects which were realized, notably the construction of classrooms and the provision of benches, stores and shelves in the central market, and the rehabilitation of farm roads for the well-being of the population. The different commissions of the municipal council appreciated the efforts of the mayor. Meantime, there is much work to do at the level of the fiscal policy and the income collection revenue. The mayor highlighted the fact that the population is complaining about the high cost to acquire those shops, which is not the case.
Le secteur fiscal monte petit à petit, mais nous n'avons pas encore atteint le niveau qu'il faut. Alors, avec les ordres de recettes et puis l'élargissement de notre assiette fiscale, nous pensons que les lignes vont bouger de plus.
To better the living conditions of the population, other developmental projects are on the priority list of the Manjo Council, like the creation of some touristic sites, to say the Lala Waterfall and Dibumbe, and some career sites for exploitation.
In same light, the administrative account for the 2021 financial year in Tokombere municipality has been announced in revenue and expenditure. This was during an ordinary session which took place recently. Ekokobere Mekaro has more.
Municipal councillors of Tokombere in the Mayo-Sava division in the Far North region recently came together at the town hall to unanimously adopt the administrative accounts for the 2021 financial year. A sum of 1,214,236,393 francs was adopted as revenue and 1,081,581,449 francs as expenditure during the ordinary session. In 2021, a number of projects were carried out for the well-being of the population, and it will be up to the mayor, Bobaka Tikere, who leads the executive, to put in more efforts so as to accomplish almost all municipal projects for the current year.
Vous connaissez, les priorités ici, c'est l'éducation. C'est l'éducation. Ici, l'éducation est ancrée dans la tête des parents. Le souci, c'est d'envoyer d'abord les enfants à l'école. Et c'est ce que nous sommes en train de faire. Que nous apportons notre appui en les délivrant les actes de naissance à ceux qui n'en ont pas. Et sensibiliser les parents également à envoyer les enfants. Construire des salles de classe, mettre des points d'eau, faire des routes. Voilà ce que nous faisons.
After reviewing the synthesis of the working committee, the municipal councillors gave discharge to the executive to continue the development actions in order to ensure the well-being of the population of Tokombere.
With a goal of promoting or to promote the culture of Diamare through the digitalization of artistic and cultural works, the 6th edition of the Marwa Arts Campaign has been launched. The initiative, led by Professor Abdul Yauba, Secretary General of the National Commission for UNESCO, was celebrated under the theme Digitals and Culture for Youth in the Service of Development. Details compiled by student journalists on internship Mbunwi Bemo Ashley.
The 6th edition of the Mara Youth Week, the Asawere Derke and Mara, recently unfolded under a festive and euphoric atmosphere.
The annual event that brings together young people from different associations lasted 72 hours in different corners of the city, celebrated under the theme Digitals and Culture for Youth at the Service of Development. The event was marked by different activities like cultural dances, debates, horse riding, concerts, and sports. Attended by a host of high personalities and youths, Mr. Maulud, promoter of the festival, mentioned the festival's goal, which is to promote the Diamare culture via digitalization of their artistic and cultural works, whereby the youths will be accompanied by the legalization of their startups with the help of the Ministry of Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises. The festival was equally marked by the presence of Professor Abdulaziz Yauba, Secretary General of the National Commission for UNESCO, who reiterated the organization's support for the youths. The representative of the Senior Divisional Officer also graced the occasions. The curtains were finally pulled by the presentation of certificates, trophies, and other honorific prizes.
Let's now move over to the southwest region of the country. The Limbe Central Police Station that used to be abandoned and desolated now has a pleasant look thanks to the efforts of the Central Police Commissioner, Jean-Pierre Simon Nyebe, who has taken the dedication to transform the face of the Limbe Police Station, making it friendly to the public and population. The mayor of Limbe City Council was at the facility recently to appreciate the works so far. The city mayor was also informed about the success of the gender desk, which has been opened in collaboration with the United Nations Women to help check the growing acts of violence against women, girls, and vulnerable children. Let's now listen to the appraisals of the city mayor, Paul Efome, during his visit to the facility.
The commissioner for improving on the cleanliness of the area and the maintenance of the house. This is a thing that we've never seen here in Limbe, and the hygiene and sanitation within the place is very, very improving. And also he has explained to me the problems, the challenges that he has in the building. And so far, in terms of hygiene and sanitation, he has talked about the toilet, he has talked about improving on the accommodation, and also he tried to explain about the gender violence, which is very, 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 very sensitive, which we also have to see what we can do about. And in as much as the building, the structure is concerned, I think I will use my office to see how we can improve on the situation here. And also there are also some structures, like he made mention about the canteen, which everybody who comes to the police station have to be free, and also to make the policemen not to go far from their station. And so I think we probably need a public-corporate partnership, which I would like to tell you that I'm very, very interested.
The city mayor Paul Efome equally acknowledged the difficulties faced so far as mentioned or analyzed by the commissioner for the Central Police Station in Limbe. However, the mayor promised better days ahead and equally called on the population to work hand in hand with forces of law and order for better results. Listen to him still in the following excerpt.
Apart from that, he has explained to me the services that he renders to the public, to the population of Limbe. And I want to be sincere with you that for some time now, I'm seeing it as much as the socio-political crisis is affecting Limbe. The crisis things are getting back to normal. But again, you know, it is the way the police people manage the population. They are more friendly to the population now. And I advise them not to be afraid of the police people in Limbe because they are very, very friendly. They are working for us. It's not like those days that we think that when you see a policeman, you have to run. I think the commissioner has made the avenue that the population and the police can interact. And you see, with the creation of so other many posts that he has created for the police people to go closer to the community so they can express their.
French President Emmanuel Macron will be in Cameroon on the 25th and 26th of this month. The reason for his visit is not yet public, but what is certain is the President of Cameroon, His Excellency President Paul Biya, and President of France, Emmanuel Macron, will be discussing issues concerning the two states. Cameroonians have, however, continued to share their opinions regarding the first-time visit of President Emmanuel Macron into Cameroon. Take note, the last time a French president visited Cameroon was 7 years ago, and that was during the reign of former French president, or the reign of Francois Hollande. However, the Cameroonians, or the Cameroonian population, are skeptical and say that both nations should be able to discuss on terms as partners, considering the fact that Cameroon has once been a former French colony. TBS TV spoke to a political analyst and an entrepreneur, Dr. Nick Ngwanyam, who says that Cameroon is a sovereign state and should be able to operate as one. He's accepting.
You know, it's very unfortunate that many Cameroonians and Africans who have the French as their colonial masters, so to speak, you know, they tend to think that the way France treats these African nations, it treats them as if they were provinces attached to France, and that's where the shoe pinches. So, but the truth we know is that we are independent countries, and even President Macron knows that we are independent countries. I think it's just in our perception that we behave and think that we should be treated as provinces of France. That's why even when we have some problems at our noses, instead of solving them, we are calling on France, we are calling on everybody to come and help us when there are problems that we could solve. So it's an issue of sovereignty, and you cannot be sovereign if you don't know how to solve your own problems. Sovereignty on paper is one thing, but to say you're sovereign means you are mature enough to solve your problems. So there are some of those problems in our environment that we blame them on France, and these problems have got nothing to do with France. The problems have got something to do with an inability for us to address ourselves to the problems. If we have dirt that is clogging our gutters, if we don't have public toilets, if our markets are dirty, if we don't grow enough food to feed ourselves and we keep importing Chinese rice, that is not a problem created by France. It's not created by France. And so, but probably we could say that France might have a finger in our bad governance, and those are some of the things that we should be looking forward to, and hoping that the President of France would help us to see clearly into this and address those problems. Not that he's going to give us instructions as if we were his pupils, but it will be a civil discussion in which he will be talking to us not like his subjects but like partners. So in the days ahead, we hope that when he comes and goes, France will be dealing with her old colonies, not as subjects or people that you look down on, but as equals, and then you deal with us in a manner that allows us to also build ourselves and grow, but not doing the same thing that we've been doing for years and keeping us in the dark.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're still watching the 7 p.m. English newscast on DBS television. It is time for Discovery. On our Discovery page today, we take you to discover the wonders of River Sanaga in Cameroon, which spreads across the east, littoral and center region. It is about 603 kilometers from the confluence of Njerem and Limbe River. It is also an avenue for employment, as youths have not failed to exploit the river through fishing or sand digging as a means of livelihood. Sand digging around Sanaga River. Enjoy. You're welcome back. In news out of the country, about 65 people have been reported dead and over 150 injured following intercommunal clashes in Sudan's Blue Nile state. Our reporter Rugia Tsububa says as a result of the clash, the government has called or imposed a curfew and ban on gatherings. Get details of this and more with Rugia Tsububa.
At least 65 people have died and an additional 150 have been injured in intercommunal clashes which began a week ago in Sudan's Blue Nile state. The bulk of fighting has been between the Hausa and Birta ethnic group. This widespread chaos is unusual in the Blue Nile, which is considered relatively calm compared to other parts of Sudan, particularly since the uprising following the ousting of former autocrat Omar el-Bashir in 2019. The fighting between the two sides continued in Ad-Damazin city, despite the ongoing state of emergency and curfew declared by authorities. Authorities have deployed the military and paramilitary rapid support forces to bring stability to the region. Experts say last year's coup led by Army Chief Abdel Fattah el-Burhan created a security vacuum that has fostered a resurgence in tribal violence in a country where deadly clashes erupt over land and livestock. Sudan has for many decades witnessed consecutive civil wars between the Khartoum government, backed by Arab tribes, and rebel movements backed by African tribes. Away from Sudan, Somali authorities say an aircraft carrying 36 passengers and crew crashed at Mogadishu airport on Monday, but all on board survived. The Juba Airways plane was carrying civilian passengers from the southwestern city of Baidoa when it crashed. Eyewitnesses say the plane lost control as the pilot struggled to land at the airport, with rescue teams arriving at the scene to put out the flames. Juba Airport is a privately owned company registered in Kenya. It carries domestic and regional flights with frequent lands at Mogadishu Airport. Somalia's Civil Aviation Authority is yet to issue a comprehensive report regarding the plane crash, which comes hours before President Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud returned to the country from Djibouti.
Thanks, Rugia Tsububa. We talk sports. Host nation Morocco will face Bayana of South Africa for the finals of the 2022 edition of the Women African Cup of Nations. Morocco beat the Super Falcons of Nigeria yesterday 5-4 during penalty shootouts, of course, after 90 minutes of a 1-1 draw. Zambia equally bowed to South Africa after a 1-0 win during a penalty shootout that gave them the 1-0 win. And of course, Zambia and Nigeria will play for the third place. Ate Bonaventure has sports updates.
Morocco will face South Africa in the final of the Women's Africa Cup of Nations after beating Nigeria 5-4 on penalties following a 1-1 draw. The Atlas Lions goalkeeper Khadija El Mirek denied Ifeoma Onyomu in the second round of the shootout following Rosella's Ayene's strike in the winning kick. After having midfielder Alimatu Ainde dismissed Nigeria through an own goal from Marbet before Sana Musudi quickly equalized. The defending champions then had forward Rashadat Ajibide sent off with 19 minutes left, and a resolute defensive display saw the match go to distance. It was largely one-way traffic in extra time, but the North Africans could not find a way past Nigerian goalkeeper Chiamaka Nojizie and gave Monday almost won it for the Super Falcons when her fierce efforts cannoned back off the crossbar. But Morocco held their nerve in front of a packed stadium in Rabat to dump out the 9-time champions and ensure there would be a new name on the WAFCON trophy on Saturday. There was a VAR controversy in the earlier semi-final in Casablanca as the manner of Zambia's exit frustrated coach Bruce Mwape and his Copper Queens squad. There were no South African appeals when Siopone went over in the 89 minutes and replays showed Tembo had blocked an attempted pass before the momentum of Banyana forward Siopone took her into the Zambia defender. The final shall thus pit host Morocco against the 2018 runners-up South Africa.
We have come to the end of the Tuesday edition of the 7 p.m. English newscast on DBS television. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate your keen and kind attention. See you tomorrow, God willing, at 7 p.m. for another edition. I am Genda Belgian Blanche King. Stay in company of other interesting programs on DBS television. Follow our social media platforms, DBS TV, and happy viewing. Enjoy. Good night.